Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the NBA slate for Sunday. We have two games starting at 1 o'clock. So let's get started. As always, appreciate if you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Rest of the NBA season is only 20 bucks if you wanted to join on the website. Link is in the description. But otherwise, let's get right into the picks. So, got a game 7 tonight. It's going to be very fun to watch. I believe the Clippers will get the job done, but I'm expecting it to be a fun game nonetheless. And then we have the Sixers and the Hawks in their game 1. Embiid's status is still up in the air. He's questionable. I don't know if he's going to be limited, if he does play, even if whether he plays or not. But we got to wait on that news. It's the first game on the slate, so hopefully I have it in a couple hours. It's about 8:20 a.m. when I'm making this video. Right now I'm assuming that he's either limited or he's not going to be playing tonight or playing this afternoon. Point guard, you have Luka Doncic, 11-1. Played 41 minutes last game. They were trapping him. He only had like 4 points in the second and third quarter. He erupted with like under 5 minutes to go in the fourth with a lot of his points. He had like 11 in the first quarter, and then he had like something like 13 in the fourth or something like that in the last couple minutes. They're probably going to make it tough on Luka again. Tim Hardaway was hitting shots for the first 3 quarters, and then he went cold in the fourth. He's 11-1. He's fine. Game 7, you expect him to be out there for like 44 minutes tonight. On the other hand, you have Trae Young at $9,200 against the Sixers. If Embiid is not in the lineup today, then Young just doesn't really have anybody to block his shots in the paint. I'm expecting him to be able to get into the paint easily. Ben Simmons will make it tough, but there's not a shot blocker, so if he's able to get around Simmons with some screens and stuff, he'll be able to get into the paint. He's been doing awesome. Even in a tough matchup against the Knicks, with how good of a defense the Knicks have been all season, he was solid in every single game. Expecting more of the same today against the Sixers, who play a lot faster than the Knicks, and without Embiid, their defense will be a lot worse. So I got to go Trae Young. If Ben Simmons also looks like a great play, $8,300, they're going to have to put somebody else on him. There's no way Trae Young's going to be defending Simmons. I expect they put Trae Young on probably Seth Curry, and then probably have like Hunter on Ben Simmons. Simmons was good in that game 5 to close out the Wizards. Had a triple-double. If there's no Embiid, he's just a lot easier to get to. If Embiid happens to suit up, then it'll be a little bit tougher to get to him. Then I'm not really looking at 7,000 for Bogdanovic. I really like Reggie Jackson again. He's going to be playing big minutes. Rondo struggled last game, so as long as Jackson is hot, he was super hot shooting the ball. He was 6 of 6 to start, and then he finished like 2 of 9 to close out the game. But still out there. Rondo was struggling, so he only played a few minutes. But Reggie Jackson should be out there. He gives them a nice spark besides Paul George and Kawhi Leonard to score the ball, shoot some threes, and he can get you some rebounds and assists, especially if he's out there for 30 plus minutes. So seems like a great guy to plug into your point guard spot, or maybe you can even plug him into your shooting guard spot. So for me, I'll go ahead and put him in at the shooting guard spot. Other guys I think you can go to are like Tyrese Maxey, especially if there's no Embiid. He's just going to see some extra minutes. He'll probably see in the low 20s at least. He was doing great for them off the bench the last couple games. He's been a lot better than Shake Milton, who is now $3,000, and his minutes have really come to a halt. So Shake Milton looks like he's slowly getting out of the rotation, and it's going to be Tyrese Maxey. So he looks like a great value play. I like Maxey more than a guy like George Hill, who's similarly priced, but Maxey just gives you some more upside. Hill is not going to be doing as much, doesn't have as much usage. So that's pretty much it at point guard. You definitely don't want to go with anybody else really as a value play besides Maxey and Hill. Maybe you can look at Brunson, but for me, those are the couple value plays that look appealing. Over at shooting guard, I really like Paul George. I want to get to a couple of these Clippers because I do think they'll win this game. And they're going to be playing huge minutes. Paul George, I believe he played the entire second half of last game, which was good to see. They needed him out there in the start of the fourth. He was the reason that they were able to take the lead with Kawhi Leonard on the bench, and then Leonard came in and did his thing. Only shot 6 of 15, only shot 6 of 10 from the free throw line, but 13 boards, 6 assists, 3 blocks. He was all over the court, and even with a bunch of turnovers, 5 turnovers, really a lot of those were bad turnovers, just handling the ball over. Easily you can plug him in at your guard spot or shooting guard spot. So definitely looking to get some studs in this lineup. I think you can even go other guys at shooting guard are going to be like Tyrese Maxey as a value, Kevin Hurt as a value. I don't want to go to Bogdanovic, Hardaway. I don't want to really get to $6,400. I'd rather go with some of these cheaper guys in the $3K range besides Paul George. Small forward, Kawhi Leonard looks awesome at 99. He is probably the best pay up on the slate. You can plug him in, get both of these Clipper studs, even get Trae Young, and he still leaves you with a couple of value plays that you're just going to have to go to if you wanted to go to a stars and scrubs approach. I think this is the 2-game slate to kind of do it on. Other value plays are Gallo at only $4,100, and maybe you can go to like Batum or Morris, but I like Gallo a little bit more just because he's a lot cheaper. And Tobias looks solid if there's no Embiid. And then at center, there's just Boban is only 37, so that's the first value play that you want to plug in. Assuming he starts again, he was fine out there, missed some shots at the basket, but he gave them, in the start of the second half, they were going to him constantly. He was making some shots, and then they didn't really play him in the fourth. But probably would have been a better option than what they did to close out that game. He's just a guy he's just a big mismatch for Morris. He's going to be able to get you rebounds, going to be able to get some putbacks, and if he keeps getting like 13 shot attempts, you'd expect him to shoot more than 39%. So he has to be the best value play on the slate if he starts again. And then I think going to at least one Sixer could be like a guy like Tyrese Maxey at 39. Plug him in at your utility spot. A guy that, assuming Embiid sits or is limited, should still see like low 20s in minutes. He's a spark plug. A lot of energy off the bench for him, and he's a very solid player. He's going to get better. Only his first season. So, I really like these 6 a lot. You get your high-powered studs with Young, Leonard, and George, and then you get a bunch of value with Boban, Maxey, even Reggie Jackson. So that's it for DraftKings. Let's talk about FanDuel. All right, on FanDuel, point guard plays, we have our Luka Doncic. He's 11-2. You can save $2,200 and go to a guy like Trae Young. Ben Simmons, also a viable option if there's no Embiid. And then it's basically Reggie Jackson as the value play to look at. There's nobody else that looks that appealing. Maxey is shooting guard eligible, so he's not a guy you can play at point guard. For me, I like Trae Young again. Plug him in at 9,000. Shooting guard, it's Paul George as your only pay up, so he looks solid. Seth Curry had a huge game shooting the ball. He looks fine if you wanted to chase that. I mean, I might go to like Maxey as a lower owned option. And then Kevin Huerter is only 41. Looks like a good value off the bench. But it's going to be able to get to Paul George. Definitely do a bit of a stars and scrubs approach once again on FanDuel. Small forward, Kawhi Leonard is 10-6. Once again, he's the only pay up at the position. So if you're not getting up to him, you're going to have to go with a couple of value plays. Let's see if Hunter, probably probable. He's questionable. If there is no DeAndre Hunter, then Gallinari gets a huge boost at $4,500 and 41 on DraftKings. Then Thibault started. If he starts again, maybe you can plug him in at 36. But let's see if we plug in Kawhi Leonard. We're left with still 51, 67. And those are like the 3 studs I want to get to. So probably will be able to find some value at power forward. If you don't want to pay $9,000 for Tobias, this is a spot where you can go cheap. Porzingis been not doing a lot this series, and the minutes also haven't been there in some of these games. He's 62, so he might be worth a shot, but I think you can just go with a couple of value plays and just be fine with that. Let's see, there's not a lot. 3K range, let's see the price tag on Boban at center. He's 39 if you wanted to plug him in at center. That'll definitely give you a big bit of a salary boost, especially looking at the center position. If Embiid doesn't play, you only have Capella as your only other stud, and then you have a bunch of guys that are value plays, but Boban could definitely outscore all like Zubac and Howard, and Zubac doesn't even play that much. And power forward, looking at a cheap option. Maybe it's like, I don't know, I think Ibaka's doubtful. Yeah, he's doubtful, so still going to be Morris as the value play. But price tags on Porzingis and Collins are also appealing, so I'll probably want to get to at least one of those two. Maybe Collins, just because if there is no Hunter, he looks like he's going to get some extra minutes. If Hunter plays, maybe you can go to Porzingis, but I think both guys are pretty similar. Maybe Collins gets you a couple extra minutes, but we'll see. If there is no Embiid, then I think Collins looks a lot better because we'll probably be able to get some easier looks at the basket, and maybe we'll get into less foul trouble. But once again, still rocking with the Leonard, George, and Trae Young as my 3 studs on the slate. And that's basically it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Best of luck tonight, or best of luck this afternoon, and we'll catch you all next time.